Alright, this is gonna really fuck with my usual recording levels. I gotta have my beat up. Alright, let's have a look at this. Alright, so we got some fucking arguments, some bitching, some whining, some contention, fight. Alright, what have we got? DesTrucTion versus Friisky. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Okay, now, smoking cigars with whiskey, I rather suspect after a read through that both of these guys are pronouncing cigars most of the time as cigars, putting a bit of swag on it. Alright, let's see how it works. Smoking cigars with whiskey. No a nigger, I'm frisky. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Soaking this bra, it's pleasing. Soaking this bra, it is please. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Soaking this bra, it is please. Nah, that one doesn't work. Alright, how am I gonna do this? We got. Alright, I'm going to count fails. Alright, so that's one fail. Double check that's for Friisky. Yeah, that's one complete fail. So we've got cigars with whiskey. No a nigger, I'm frisky. That works. Soaking this bra, it is please. Doesn't work. Alright. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Folk here like it is frisbee. Folk here like it is frisbee. Smoking cigars with whiskey. That works. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Bloke will be like a Swiss cheese. Bloke will be like a Swiss cheese. Smoking cigars with whiskey. That works. Tokes with me, dog, are risky. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Tokes with me, dog, are risky. Tokes with me, dog, are risky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. That works. Blowing figures like he's rich. Blowing figures like he's rich. Smoking. I forgot the lyrics. Jesus. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Blowing figures like he's rich. Smoking cigars like he's rich. Blowing figures like he's rich. Smoking cigars like he's rich. Blowing figures like he's rich. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Blowing figures like he's rich. No, that doesn't work immediately because you've got smoking cigars, blowing figures with whiskey like he's rich. Nah, if it was rich he's whiskey, but no, it doesn't work the other way around. Blowing figures like he's rich, blowing figures like he's rich. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Nah, that one drops right off. Okay, so that's a fail. That's two fails. Jokin spot on with this D. Jesus. Jokin spot on with this D. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Jokin spot on with this D. Jokin spot on with this D. Is that track repeating? No, it's not. Blowing. Jokin spot on with this. A heavyweight, you must be thinking he's Bryant. No joking spot on with this D. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Something. Joking spot on with this D. Joking spot on with this D. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Joking, smoking, spot on. cigars, spot on. Falls apart there in the middle with this D. That's fine. With this D, whiskey, that's fine. But the middle bit, spot on. No, that's a fail. That's a fail. It's actually kind of more like a half a fail. Next one. Holding these lads, they feet grips. Holding these lads, they feet grips. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Holding these lads, they feet grips. You see what you've done? Same thing again. Let me show you. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Holding these lads, they grip feet. Holding these lads, they grip feet. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Grip feet, whiskey. Grip feet, whiskey. Feet grips doesn't work. You've got it backwards. You're saying ski whiz instead of whiskey. That's the second time you've done that. So that's another fail. Too many fucking windows. Where are we? Poking shitholes with this Ritz. Poking shitholes with this Ritz. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Poking shitholes with this Ritz. No, poking shitholes with this Ritz. Maybe if you had Ritz he, or Ritz G, or Ritz C. Poking shitholes with this Ritz C. No, so poking shitholes with Ritz C. Smoking cigars with whiskey, but then you've got nothing to go with cigars or cigars. Shitholes. Cigars. Shithars. Poking shithars with nah. Can't make that one work. And you can see I'm giving you a fair shake. I am putting some swing and swag on it, and I'm seeing if I can make it work. Bro, we ain't ask for this, please. Bro, we ain't ask for this, please. I gotta remember to say ask instead of ask, like an American. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Bro, we ain't ask for this, please. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Bro, we ain't ask for this, please. Yeah, no, that works. That's cool. Coking them lies for these fiends. 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 Smoking cigars with whiskey. Coking them lies for these fiends. Coking them lies for these fiends. Smoking. Coking, smoking, cigars, M lies, these fiends, whiskey. Maybe that's real stretchy stretch. These fiends, whiskey. Yes, maybe it's very fucking stretchy, but maybe. Cocaine, smoking, no problem. M lies, cocaine M lies for these fiends. Smoking cigars for these fiends. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Cocaine M lies for these fiends. Nah, I can see what you're trying to do there with that one, but even when I stretch the fuck out of it, nah. That one's a fail. Where are we? Smoking cigars with whiskey. Funnily enough, that rhymes quite well with smoking cigars with whiskey. Cool. Alright, moving on to DesTrucTion. Alright. Posting his bars be pretty. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Posting his bars be pretty. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Yeah, that works. Flow is so cataclysmic. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Flow is so cataclysmic. Flow is so cataclysmic. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Flow is so cataclysmic. Cataclysmic ends on quite a hard consonant sound. Whiskey trails off into a vowel. It's quite a difference in sound. Flow is so cataclysmic. Flow is so cataclysmic. Hard consonant sound. Cigars with whiskey. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Flow is so cataclysmic. Yeah, that doesn't. Solely on astrophysics. Solely on astrophysics. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Solely on astrophysics. In terms of flow, you know, like if this was internal fucking flow, if it was kinda maybe a little bit slant rhymey, just like setting up like patterns of slant rhymes, yeah, but as end rhymes that are supposed to be multis, no. Flow is so cataclysmic. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Flow is so cataclysmic. Solely on astrophysics. Smoking cigars with whiskey. No. Posting his bars be pretty. Okay, that's cool. My flow is so cataclysmic. Flow is so cataclysmic. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Flow is so cataclysmic. Smoking cigars and whiskey. I'm really struggling to make either of those two work, so that is 2 fails there. Knowing this battle's risky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Knowing this battle's risky. Knowing this battle's risky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Knowing this battle's risky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Knowing this battle's risky. Kinda, almost. That's fairly close. It's not quite, but it's fairly close. And then blow it should get tricky. Blow it shit can get tricky. Blow it shit can get tricky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Blow it shit can get tricky. Blow it shit can get tricky. Blow it shit can get tricky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. You blow it shit can get tricky. I gotta stop saying fucking shit. You're only doing that to avoid Facebook censorship. Shit can get tricky. Cigars and whiskey. Cigars and whiskey. Forgetting the lyrics and getting so fucking mangled here. When you say something 50 times, it stops losing any fucking meaning at all. Blow it shit can get tricky. Blow it shit can get tricky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Blow it shit can get tricky. Shit can get tricky. Cigars and whiskey. It's kinda almost. I don't really want to fail that one. That one kinda works. As I'm toting the gap will simply. As I'm toting the gap will simply. As I'm toting the gap will simply. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Toting the gap will simply. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Toting the gap will simply. Toting the gap will simply. Toting the gap will simply. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Yeah, now that works. Yep. You've just got to change that to the. Toting the gap or simply smoking cigarettes and whiskey. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Toting the gap or simply. Yep, no, I'm going to play that. That works. It's not quite perfect, but it's, you know, it's a few fucking syllables. You can't have them all perfectly perfect. Showing the arm to Friisky. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Showing the arm to Friisky. Yep, that works. Okay. Clothing department silly. Clothing department silly. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Clothing department silly. Clothing department silly. Smoking cigars and whiskey. I'm in the clothing department silly. Smoking cigars and whiskey with Billy, it's risky. Clothing department is silly. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Clothing department silly. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Clothing department silly. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Clothing department silly. Jesus fuck, it took me a while to get there, but I actually see what you're fucking trying to do there. Holy shit. That actually works. I thought that one was a dead duck, but completely fucking dead, but no, it works. Holding guitars with this ring. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Holding guitars with this ring. Holding guitars with this ring. Smoking cigars with whiskey. This ring again. You're ending on a hard consonant sound. This ring, that's a down sound, whereas whiskey is like an upward rising sound. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Holding guitars with this ring. Ring doesn't really fucking play just because it ends on such a hard consonant. You really want to finish on a vowel. Holding guitars with this ring, sitting back, I'm sipping with, smoking cigars with whiskey. Smoking cigars with whiskey. I'm sitting sipping cigars with whiskey. Sitting sipping smoking cigars with whiskey. Holding guitars with this ring. Nah, that one doesn't work. No matter how I fucking play it, it's all good right up until ring, and then ring just ring goes down onto a consonant sound, and you really need to be rising on a vowel sound for that one to work. So that's another fail. Smoking smoking cigars and whiskey. Hey, that rhymes with smoking cigars and whiskey, which also rhymes with smoking cigars and whiskey, so I'm going to give that line a pass. Okay. Throwing his ass on this grill. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Throwing his ass on this grill. Throwing his ass on this grill. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Throwing his ass. Smoking cigars. That works. Throwing his ass on this. Smoking cigars and that works. This grill. Whiskey. You've done the same thing again. You're ending on a fucking consonant sound. This grill. Whiskey. This grill. Whiskey. One rises, one falls. You get what I'm saying there? Vowel sounds go up, consonant sounds go down. They're harsh sounds. They don't play well together. Throwing his ass on this grill. Smoking cigars with whiskey. That one doesn't play for me either. That one doesn't really play for me, actually. That one, it kinda almost does. It's just that last consonant vowel clash. Roasting this fag in minutes. Roasting this fag in minutes. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Roasting this fag in minutes. Minutes. Whiskey. See how one just like goes up and trails off and fucking keeps going forever, and the other one has like a very definitive ending. Minutes. I mean, I guess you can kind of do the sibilants, but it's not really the same thing. Roasting this fag in minutes. Smoking cigars and whiskey. You keep doing this. You keep getting the first part right, and then it's just that last fucking word where you just keep choosing the wrong sound. Roasting this fag in minutes. Smoking cigars and whiskey. No, I can't fucking make that one play either. And again, you've got half of it right. So I'm going to change that half one, plus another half one to one full fail. Roasting this bag in minutes. And then we got stone this bitch that's addicted. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Smoking cigars and whiskey. You can almost fucking do it if you just kind of trail off and pretend that the last syllable, that the last consonant sound isn't there. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Smoking cigars and whiskey, but even then, smoking, stone this bitch that's beach that's cigar beach the. Nah, you've got to force too much shit to try and make that one work. That one is another fail. The foe was a masochist bitch. Foe was a masochist bitch. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Foe was a masochist bitch. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Foe was a masochist bitch. No. That ain't work. I mean, it keeps the flow going. Like, if it wasn't supposed to be a tight multi-syllable rhyme, if it was just, you know, internal filler to keep the fucking flow going, they got the right syllable count, they sound kinda similar in places, it would be fine for internal flow, for internal filler, but not for an end rhyme in a multis match. Poking this man with big keys. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Poking this man with big keys. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Poking this man with big keys. Smoking cigars with whiskey. This man and cigars doesn't work, but poking with big keys, smoking whiskey, yeah, that works. So I'm going to give that one a pass. Okay, which means we've got Friisky's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 multis that don't really work. DesTrucTion's got 5 that don't really work. So that's pretty fucking close. All right, not gonna lie. That's not a fucking whitewash on the multis category. I've got dinner in the oven, so I need to fucking pause my recording and go and get that before I burn my fucking house down. And we'll come back and we'll look at punches and content. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Let me just drop that down a bit. drop this down a bit so I can hear myself fucking speaking. Alright, content. Alright, punches and content. Actually, sorry, I'll just, when I left you, I had just tallied up multis that didn't really work, no matter how much I swung them. But then I realised there were differing totals. So Friisky has 5.5 fails out of 11 attempts. DesTrucTion has 5 fails out of 14 attempts at swinging for the fence. So yeah, DesTrucTion has done better on the multis after a very comprehensive breakdown of those. Alright, so equally important, punches. Okay, so Friisky said he bagged me, now this cat back to haunt, got 9 lives, how you not knowing, nigga, I'm Friisky. I don't know if this guy just got really fucking lucky. Where I live, Friskies is a brand of cat food, so that actually fucking ties in. Now I don't know if Friskies is a brand of cat food where it's your name, Friisky. This cat's back to haunt, got 9 lives, nigga, I'm Friisky. If that's because Friskies is a brand of cat food where you live, then that's a really fucking weird rap name to choose, but I'm just going to assume you have the same branding there, and so the tie-in kind of works for me. You know, cat, 9 lives, Friskies. It's not great, but it works. You all know how dirty and messy laundry can be, how my bar's soaking this bra, it's pleasing. Soaking this bra as in bruh, as in bro, as in brother, or bra as in over shoulder boulder holder. Either way, you know how dirty and messy airing dirty laundry can be. Yeah, how my bar's soaking this bra, it's pleasing. It's kind of fucking confused and it's not saying a lot. I don't really see anything really clever in the way of a punchline there. Fuck playing around. Fuck playing around. Fling a few big rounds to this folk here like it's Frisbee. Playing a round, throw a few big rounds, Frisbee. Yeah, that's alright, that's cool. It's probably been done 1,000 times before. I seem to recall seeing it a few times, but yeah, that's alright. And we got to remember it's a multi-battle, so people are constrained, you know. So that's okay. I'm gonna leave his face with so many holes. Bloke will be like a Swiss cheese. Full of holes like Swiss cheese. God, that's so played. It was played during my childhood in the motherfucking 1980s. It's such an old common idiom. I don't know if you could actually say it's played in battle rap because it's such an old common idiom that I don't know if I've ever actually seen anybody attempt to fucking use it in a battle rap. So, but it definitely doesn't raise anything other than an eyebrow. Although bloke will be like a Swiss cheese smoking cigars with whiskey. It's really fucking tight on the multi, but as a punchline, it's relying on such common, old-fashioned idiom that I can't give you any points for originality. It's not like you invented that phrase, right? That's what I'm saying. It's not like you came up with that shit. My grandparents were using that phrase when I was a little kid in the 1980s. So I can't give you any fucking points for creativity for using it in a rap battle in 2022. Like a homie with smoke, today you can learn tokes with me, dog, or risky. It's just direct speech. Homie with smoke, tokes with me, dog, or risky. not much there in the way of a wordplay or a double meaning or a flip. It's pretty much just direct speech. You're saying fucking with me is risky. Buck's coming, so motherfucker Paul's busy yapping about blowing figures like he's rich. Buck's rich. Probably one of the least inventive things to do with bucks. Again, you're constrained by the multi. You've tried, but it's not really hitting as a punchline. Heavyweight, you must be thinking he's Bryant. No joke, can spot on with this D. This one I just don't fucking understand at all. You must be thinking he Bryant. I'm assuming you mean Bryant, like Kobe Bryant. But I don't fucking get the joke. What's it got to do with the D? Because he never played for Detroit, he played for the Lakers. If you actually mean Bryant, I don't even know what the fuck that is. I googled it. Google just kept trying to spell check it. I couldn't find anything. RNG ain't moving forward, truth be told. RNG. What the fuck is RNG? And how DesTrucTion holding these lads, their feet grips. DesTrucTion. There was an idea there. There was a seed there for what could have been a really fucking cool name flip. There could have been something fucking great came out of that. But then holding these lads, their feet grips. Mangle grammar for the sake of forcing a multi, but then that's one of those multis that didn't work. Holding these lads, their feet grips. Smoking cigars and whiskey. So that's that one where it would have been if it was grips feet, whiskey. That would work as a slant rhyme, but feet grips and whiskey doesn't work at all. So the seeds were there for a really fucking cool name flip, but the execution was way off and the multi's way off. Deep scripts, my pen game's so sharp I'm poking shitholes with these writs. My pen game's so sharp I'm poking shitholes with these writs. Like your pen is so sharp you're literally poking holes in the dude's abdomen and shit is going to leak out of them before it ever gets to his sphincter. It's cold, it's violent, it's kind of cool. Poking shitholes with these writs. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Yeah. With these writs. Whiskey. Yeah, nah. Doesn't work. His style curses after curses. Shit bore me to the core, and bro, we didn't ask for this, please. Bro, we didn't ask for this, please. It's not actually saying anything. It's rhyming for the sake of rhyming and sticking with the multi, but it doesn't work as a punch. You're about to witness one of the greatest punch, like a mixed coke and lies for these fiends. I have no fucking idea what lies is. I'm assuming it's like fruit juice or something, because that's the only way the punchline makes sense, right? You've spiked the punch with cocaine to make the greatest punch ever. It's cool, I get it. Coke and lies for these fiends, smoking cigars and whiskey. Coke and lies for these fiends. Nah. The idea's there, but the execution's off. I'm a big boss suited for that position like CEO smoking cigars with whiskey. So that's your multi that you were given. I'm a big boss suited for that position like CEO smoking cigars with whiskey. Suited for the position, business suit slash well suited for the position. Yeah, that's okay. It's not great. So what have we got that stands out? No nigga, I'm frisky. That's okay. And like I said, if Friisky is actually a cat food brand where you come from, like it is here, then the punchline actually connects. Kind of nerdy, but it connects. Soaking the sprouts pleasing? Nah, not feeling it. Throw a few big rounds to this folk here like it's Frisbee. That's okay. Bloke will be like a Swiss cheese. too unoriginal. Tokes with me, dog or risky, not really saying anything, but figures that he's rich, Bucks rich, it's okay, half a point. Bryant confused, don't know what's going on here. Holding these lads, they feet grips, nah. Poking shitholes with these Reds, it's okay. Bro, we ain't asked for this, please. It's not saying anything. Coking and lies for these fiends. The multis, way off. The idea was there, but the execution's off. I'm a big boss suited for that position, like CEO smoking cigars with whiskey. I wish you'd done more with the multi you were given. Alright, moving on. DesTrucTion. Even when posting, his bars be pretty retarded. Not really saying anything terribly clever there, just direct speech. But more waste been causing a large scale flood in the game. A flow is so cataclysmic, it's just flex. Out of this world because I studied the stars but ain't based solely on astrophysics. Okay, so you're saying your bars are out of this world because you studied the stars, meaning you studied the heavyweights and the vets and the legends. Studied the stars, but not based solely on astrophysics. You know, as a punch, that's okay within the constraints of a multi-battle, but then solely on astrophysics, smoking cigars and whiskey, yeah, the multi's off. He walked in knowing this battle's risky. Think hypnosis with a lit candle, because when I blow it, shit can get tricky. Hypnosis with a lit candle? I'm fucking confused, man. I'm guessing that's something... I'm guessing that's a thing. Oh yeah. Stare at the flame, listen to my voice. When I think hypnosis, I always think, you know, like the fucking cartoon villain swinging a silver pocket watch back and forth on its chain. But yeah, okay. Stare into the flame, listen to my voice. Think hypnosis with a lit candle, because when I blow it, shit can get tricky. When he comes out of it, oh yeah, okay. So you get him to stare into the flames, he hypnotized. And when you bring him out of the trance, you blow out the candle. He comes out of the trance, you're sticking a gun in his face, have him running around like Eliud Kipchoge in a marathon, just because I'm showing the arm to Friisky. I had to Google Eliud Kipchoge. He probably means a great deal where you come from, because he's African, and 4 of the 5 fastest marathons ever recorded in history, this guy has the credit for. That's a pretty big fucking achievement. I can understand why that would be a big deal for you guys, because he's African. Outside of Africa though, unless you really follow track and field, you're not going to know who he is. And that's not like a Western centric thing. Like if there was an American or somebody from Great Britain or somebody from Japan who was considered the greatest marathon runner in history, I wouldn't know who the fuck they are, because I just don't care about sports that much. You with me? Alright, so there's quite a bit to unpack here. Think hypnosis with a lit candle, because when I blow it, shit can get tricky. When he comes out of it, coming out of the trance, as I'm toting, the gap will be simply have him running around like Eliud Kipchoge in a marathon, just because I'm showing the arm to Friisky. There's a lot of fucking words there. There's a lot of fucking words to get around to saying what you're trying to say. That whole fucking section just feels like you just kind of fucking key styling, and just like, it really feels like you're freestyling and just desperately fucking trying to come up with rhyming things without any idea where you're actually fucking going with the story. Because it kind of finishes on this punch, just because I'm showing the arm to Friisky. Okay, so showing the arm to Friisky, so you're showing him a firearm, you're pointing a fucking gun in his face, that's cool, but where's the double meaning? what, you've rolled up your sleeve and showed him your arm so he's running. I don't get where the double meaning is supposed to be. When I draw the line, it's a wide range of bags to hand out. I'm from the clothing department. Silly. Obviously Silly is there to just try and force the multi, and it's a multi battle, so we understand. It's a wide range of bags to hand out. I'm from the clothing department. Silly. Working in the clothing department is kind of a fucking feminine bitch thing to be doing. Just be careful of shit like that. The imagery that you're putting in the reader's head. It makes me think of you working in a department store's clothing section, which is not the most manly occupation in the world. So you'd be better off to say it's a wide range of bags to hand out, like the clothing department. Not I'm from the clothing department, not I'm a bitch who sells lingerie, but just like the clothing department. Just make it a simile, right? Minor point, but it jumped out at me. Pulling the strings while blasting got me holding guitars with this ring. Pulling the strings while blasting got me holding guitars with this ring. Ring meaning firearm. Pulling the strings meaning guitar strings. And also pulling the strings, you know, making the power moves, moving the chess pieces, controlling the puppets. But I don't get why you're holding guitars with your firearm. It's got me holding guitars with this ring. What? Why the fuck are you holding guitars with your firearm? Shit makes no sense. And if you're talking about like a ring on your finger, it still makes no sense. And if you're talking about a ring like a circle, like your clique, like your group of associates, like your crew, still makes no sense. So I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say there with that punch. Again, obviously you're constrained by a multi-battle and you're just trying to work with the multi. I'll be in the cut smoking cigars and whiskey. I like the fact that you just got that out of the way as internal filler. Like you couldn't think of a way to make that a punchline, so you're like, fuck it, I'll just use it as the setup to the next multi. Beef and alcohol is a perfect combo, so I'll be throwing his ass on this grill. Beef and alcohol is a perfect combo, so I'll be throwing his ass on this grill. So you got a beef with the guy, beef and alcohol on the grill. It's okay, it's not the most original. Light it up, set him on fire through the net, roasting this fag in minutes. That's just direct speech. Get a rock and hit till I got me cracking his nose, meaning I'll stone this bitch that's addicted. Get a rock and hit till I got me cracking his nose. Get a rock and hit till I got me cracking his nose is kind of forced fucking grammar, meaning I'll stone this bitch that's addicted. So I'll get a rock, I will physically grab a rock out of the garden and I will fucking hit this son of a bitch until I break his nose. Also, I will get a rock of cocaine, and I will apply peer pressure to this guy till I got him snorting crack, and now this bitch is addicted to my product. I get the connection, I get where you're going, the execution could be a little cleaner. Then let the gun keep busting as it cause you pain. The foe is a masochist bitch. Keep busting as it cause you pain. Masochist. Yeah, that's okay. On some surgical shit, come through and open him up without poking this man with big keys. Now at first I read this and I didn't fucking like it because it just makes me picture some Wile E. Coyote shit where Wile E. Coyote has like these giant outsized novelty Acme company pens as he's stabbing his opponent with them. And it's a visual image that just made absolutely no fucking sense and just seemed stupid. And then you compare it to the very similar line about My pen game's so sharp I'm poking shitholes with these writs. But then I remember it's a multi-battle, and we got smoking cigars with whiskey, poking shitholes with these writs, versus smoking cigars with whiskey, poking this man with big keys. That works a lot better with the multi. So even though the visual for me is a little bit harder with Friisky's version of a very similar idea, and the imagery that I get from this is a bit fucking cartoonish and stupid, this is the homework assignment, right? The multi scheme, and DesTrucTion has done a better job of keeping to that. So if we go back and we have a look at this, we've got Friisky's got 5.5 total failures that don't work no matter how much I swing them out of 11 attempts. DesTrucTion has 5 failures out of 14 attempts, so he's got a higher success ratio as far as the multis go. And then when we look at the bar content, the punchline content, you're both pretty fucking lazy on it this time around, I gotta say. Friisky's got no nigger on Friisky. The cat food connection, it's not great, but it's there. And throwing rounds like a frisbee. Those are your two standouts. And DesTrucTion, we've got out of this world, because I studied the stars but ain't based solely on astrophysics. The fucking multi just absolutely doesn't work there, unfortunately. But the content is pretty good, actually. I've noticed this little candle below it, shit can get tricky. It's just force for the multi. Showing the arm to Friisky. No. Stone this bitch that's addicted. Foe is a masochist bitch. Poking this man with big keys. Foe is a masochist bitch. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Foe is a masochist bitch. That's not really working. Come through and open him up without poking this man with big keys. So we've got a closer that really does work quite well with the multi, and an okay punch. And we've got a pretty fucking good punch up here that doesn't really work that well on the multi. Versus throwing rounds like a frisbee. Folk here like it as frisbee. Smoking cigars and whiskey. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Folk here like it as frisbee. Folk here like it as frisbee. Smoking cigars with whiskey. Yeah, that works okay. And the rest of it is all pretty uneventful and non-memorable. So I think DesTrucTion's got one punch that really works well with the multi, and he's got one punch that is really quite a nice punch but doesn't work so well with the multi. Friisky's got this one frisbee punch that works quite well. So DesTrucTion has one more workable punch that really lands, and as we discussed back here, he's got a higher success ratio with the multi scheme. So I have to agree with the earlier decision. Where is it? Where was it written? Overall, all of the important aspects of a battle like this are the multi-scheme and punchlines. Agreed, the winner of this battle did slightly better in both of these categories. The winner is DesTrucTion. Yeah, I agree with that. It wasn't a whitewash, but he has a higher success rate with the multi-scheme. And he's got, like one more slightly memorable fucking punchline. to Friisky's 1. So there you go. You are never going to get a more comprehensive deep dive breakdown vote than that. But yep, no, I find myself agreeing with the earlier vote. So that's that. My vote also goes to DesTrucTion. No need to reopen the battle at this point. We've already got the thread up for round 2. So yep, DesTrucTion continues to advance to round 2, and better luck next time to Friisky.